Peyton, just talk about your performance today. You seem to be running the ball fairly well.
I feel like I did all right. I feel like there's a couple of things that I still need to work on. There's always something that I can get better at. So.
Peyton, for a guy that always says, I get better when the game keeps going, at the end of the game, you're just kind of like, hey, let's run the ball. This has worked.
Yes, sir.
Was that kind of the thought, at least in your head?
Pretty much, but I respect the coach's decisions and whatever they call, I'm down to do so.
You guys had 161 yards at halftime rushing. Were you surprised there wasn't more run attempts?
I was, but at the same time, it's the coach's decision, and you have to follow what they say. So.
How do you feel about you and Javon as kind of a 1-2 punch right now?
I definitely feel good. We both feed off of each other. So.
How frustrating is it as an offense when the defense comes to play like that to not be able to do anything in the second half?
It's definitely frustrating. We always want to help the defense out. Get them off the field, and we want to score points. So that's something that we have to do when we get into the red zone.
Is it even harder, coming off the team's best performance last week to kind of take a step back in an offense like this?
I don't think we took a step back, but at the same time, there's definitely a lot of things that we have to improve on.
Peyton, you being from the Peach State, was this a tough loss for you particularly?
Definitely, yes, sir.
I mean, you know a lot of the guys over there, right?
I know a couple of them, Kublano, and there's a couple others that I know. So.
Was Georgia doing anything on defense that was giving you guys problems?
There were a couple of things. They had boundary blitzes, and the quarterback was hot on a couple of them. So, that's something that we have to improve on.
Are you surprised by the step back that you guys took from A&M? You guys are really good, scoring points, getting yards, and then today not so much. You surprised by the step back there?
Like I said, I don't think that we took a step back. It's just there's just a couple of things that we have to improve on and work on.
If you guys didn't take a step back, what were the issues today then?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know.
What did you think of Sean White coming in there late in your own red zone and then doing 3 straight pass attempts and punting?
It's up to the coaches. So I think he did an excellent job with the circumstances that he was given.
Peyton, would you and Javon like a few more carries there in the third quarter though?
It would have been nice, but at the same time, that's totally up to the coaches. I respect the decisions.
Was there a moment, Peyton, where you thought the air just got completely let out of the balloon offensively? Can you kind of recall geez, this isn't working?
There were a couple of times, but at the same time, just like I said, I respect the coach's decision and everything that they want to call.
How do you feel like Danzy did for Austin Golson with you?
I think he did a great job. He stepped in when his number was called, and he did awesome.
Can you tell Sean White's still not up to that 100% speed that you guys are getting used to seeing earlier in the season?
I think yes, sir. He's definitely still a little banged up, but he's a warrior. So.
Does it affect you at all with 2 quarterbacks in? Does it matter?
No, sir. No, sir.
So it doesn't make it difficult to get in the rhythm offensively or anything?
No, sir.
Did you feel any difference when Danzy came in? Having to get used to a different center too, new kind of complexion of the offensive line. Did that change anything?
No, sir. No, sir. Everything was pretty much the same. We practice certain things like this to be prepared for it. So.
Did you notice Georgia kind of creeping up in the box a little bit during the game?
Yes, sir. We had prepared for it in practice, but just one of those things that we have to get better at. So.
You were kind of the guy for the middle part of the season, and Javon's kind of been emerging here as of late. What do you think of kind of that whole situation?
It's like I said, I respect the coach's decisions. We both feed off of each other, and it's not like I'm jealous or anything of. I'm happy for him. I was in the same situation last year, and I know what he was going through during the middle part of the season. I'm happy to see him doing what he's doing.
Peyton, when you think back on it, just think back to the game right now, what was the difference in the second half for you guys offensively? Was it just something that Georgia did? Was it you guys just not executing the way you did in the first half?
I think it was the way execution, pretty much. We just didn't do what we needed to do in the second half.
So Georgia didn't really change anything from what you guys had seen in the first half?
No, sir.
Does that make it even more frustrating? I mean, you had it rolling in the first half, and you like to think that you can just come right out of halftime and do the same thing and have the same. I mean, that has to be maybe a little bit frustrating.
It was definitely frustrating, but like I said, you know, that there's a lot of things that we have to get better at. So.
You guys have got Idaho this week, but in terms of the next conference game, I mean, how do you feel about Alabama in 2 weeks coming in here?
Definitely feel good about it. If our defense plays the way that they played today and the way that they've been playing the past couple of weeks, and we come out and play the way that we played in the first half, I think we'll be a force to be reckoned with. So.
Peyton, how much tougher do you think it makes your job and the rest of the running backs when the teams are seeing that you know Jeremy and Sean are both struggling and they're not completing passes, so they're just kind of keying on you guys running the ball?
I don't think it makes our jobs any harder or easier. We just keep doing what we've been doing. So.
How are those two quarterbacks, I guess, in the locker room? I mean, they expect a lot of themselves, and so they probably are hurting as much as anybody.
Oh, definitely. They're both taking it kind of rough, but at the same time, it's like we have to move on to the next game.
Do you view them as like the co-starting quarterbacks? I mean, when someone asks you who's the starting quarterback of the team, who do you say at this point?
I basically say I don't know, to be honest.